Good morning. My name is Baba Anthony, and I am with Okanran Sode Temple here in Miami, Florida. As always, let us get started with our morning prayers. Alolo me, cool piece of water, pure tranquil water. The road the vulture takes, Gunugun takes to come to the world. The path that the vulture, Akalamagbo, takes to go to heaven. It is very demanding. These are the declarations of Ifa to Orumila when going to take Olomi Tuton of cool water as his wife. Ifa says it is an abomination. It is also taboo in Ile-Ife. Irigialo will never allow Olomi Tutu to die a cheap death. Olomi Tutu and death have entered into a covenant. Cool road, cool home, cool Eshu. Ashe. Ibashe Olodumare. Obaterere kaye. Ibashe to all the Romoli on the right-hand side of Olodumare. Ibashe to all the Romoli on the left-hand side of Olodumare. Ibashe to Orumila, Eleri Ipuin. Ibashe to Akoda. Ibashe to Asheda. Ibashe to my Ori. Ibashe to my mother, Cecile Smith. Ibashe to my father, Junior McFarland. Ibashe to my Luo, Jesus Montero. Ibashe to my Huyubuna, Miguel Avila. Ibashe to my Baba Ifa, Fakolade. Ibashe to all my brothers and sisters in Ifa and Orisha who have supported me and shared their knowledge with me. Ibashe to my wife. Ibashe to my children. Ashe. Edge Yogbe. He who hears our pleas and accepts our pleas. He who hears our pleas and approves our pleas. He who talks to us to ensure the talk is completely absorbed. He who hears our pleas and accepts our pleas is the name of Ifa. He who hears our pleas and approves our pleas is Eshu Odara. He who talks to us to ensure the talk is completely absorbed is Orishanla. Orishanla, you are the one who molds human beings. The person who molds one cannot fail to impress one. It is the striped frog that summons the rainfall. The bullfrog is the one who summons the downpour. It is whatever the Akere Japon tree root tells the earth that is accepted. Whatever the big rat tells the earth is what the earth accepts. All what I tell you, Ifa, please and approve and accept them. Ashe. Ifa, as we come to pray this morning, I ask for your guys' protection and blessings to remove death, sickness, litigation, loss, contention, to hear our prayers that we offer, to offer support, to bring all good things into our life so that we experience long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, all array of life always. Ashe. Otura irete. To show gratitude upon gratitude is the hour of all gratitude. To display benevolence upon benevolence is the hour of all benevolence. Whoever does not show gratitude for yesterday's, whoever does not show gratitude for yesterday's favor will not receive today's gratuity. These are the declarations of Ifa to the 401 Iramole when going to marry Opwe, gratitude, the daughter of Orisha Buuji, Obatala. They also declared the same to Orumila when going to marry Opwe, the daughter of Orisha Buuji. I am grateful. I received my gratuity. I am grateful for yesterday's favor. I shall receive today's gratuity. Otura Irete, I am grateful. Ifa, we are grateful for all that you have done in our lives. We've come to ask again for your support. So that we may continue to receive all of the goodness. I am grateful for all of the successes I've had, all of the failures I've had, because they have been lessons in my life, and I hope that they are also lessons for you all too. Ashe. Awa dupe, awa bure, awa dupe o, awa bure. Adupe anao aokbore toribo Olodumare awadupe awabure awadupe o awabure adupe anao aokbore toribo oriyemi awadupe awabure Awadupe o awabure adupe anao aogbore toribo irumole awadupe awadupe o awabure Adupe anao aogbore toribo irumole awadupe awabure awadupe o awabure Azukwe anao wa bore tori bole gun losa. She. Irosuni tutu. Pounded yam without soup can be difficult to consume. This was the Ifa cast for a tutu, propitiation, the child of Abani Degun, or Rumila, he whose attitude was not acceptable, he who was full of bad character, he whose bad attitude had prevented him from coming to Ifa's domain. Now we have come to solicit on behalf of Itutu. We have come to beg on behalf of Itutu. Father, please be patient and overlook this provocation. We have come to beg on behalf of Itutu. Orumila responded that those who come to beg on behalf of Itutu, those who come to solicit on behalf of Itutu, how many children does Ifa have that he would cast one out? Those who come to beg on behalf of Itutu. Ashe. Ofumeji, Hepa Odu, the king who molds human beings, the king who molds human destiny, the king who supports and assists human beings, the king who molds human character. The king who molds human beings is the name given to Orishanla. The king who molds human destiny is the name given to Orumila. The king who supports and assists human beings is the name given to one's Ori. The king who molds human character is the name given to Olodumare. Orangumeji, I call you by your formula, which is known as Epa Odu. You are the ones who help in organizing one's life for one's life to be fruitful. You are the ones who help in organizing one's life for one's life to be rewarding. Come and help me organize my life, for it to be blessed with wealth, for it to be blessed with children, for it to be blessed with all the good things of life. It is impossible to see the depth of the sea. Do not let the world see evil in me. Do not let me be disgraced. It is impossible to see the depth of the river. All what I do not let people dig up evil in me. Orangu Meiji, I call you by your formula, which is known as Epa Odu. Please let my matters be fruitful and rewarding forever. Ashe. If I ask for the support from Orishanla, I ask for the support from Orumila, I ask for the support from our own personal Ori, I ask for the support from Olodumare. May they be guiding factors in our lives so that we may always find success. Ashe. Oh, She Torah. Tiny are the feet of Tubu. Stripe chameleon is not big enough to be used as headgear. Habit enough to use as headgear. I've taken it home and adorned my head with it. This was the Ifa cast for Awure La. When going on a spiritual mission to EJ Bulan, we call on the locust bean seller and pay her money. We call on Awure La with respect in EJ Bulan. Oshe Awure La is a good awo. Asheo. Oshe Torah. Kekeni Bagisa, the axe which strikes the tree, was the one who cast Ifa for Rumila was going to receive Iban Ashe from Olodumare. If an Awo says that we shall be wealthy, we shall surely be wealthy. Kekeni Bagisa, in the mouth of an Awo resides Iban Ashe, in the mouth of an Awo. If an Awo says that we shall have good spouse, we shall certainly have good spouse. Kekeni Bagisa, in the mouth of an Awo resides Iban Ashe, in the mouth of an Awo. If an Awo says that we shall have good children, we shall certainly have good children. Kekeni Bagisa, in the mouth of an Awo resides Ibanashe, in the mouth of an Awo. If an Awo says that we shall have all the array of life, we shall certainly have all the array of life. Kekeni Bagisa, in the mouth of an Awo resides Ibanashe, in the mouth of an Awo. Ashe. Ashe Orisha, lenu mi o, Ashe Orisha, lenu mi. Bobo tí mo bá máa mọ̀ wí o, Erúnmọlẹ̀ Ọba, Ifá Ọba o, Àṣẹ Òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Àṣẹ Òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi o, Àṣẹ Òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Bobo tí mo bá máa mọ̀ wí o, Erúnmọlẹ̀ Ọba, Ifá Ọba o, Àṣẹ Òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Bimo duro, timo sure, bimo bere, timo sure, bimo kule, timo sure, bimo joko, timo sure, ire timo suori tibo. Let us hold our oris. Ori eni laure eni ori eni laure eni moji lowuro mo fo mori ori eni laure eni ori eni laure eni ori eni laure eni Mojilo wuro monfo mori ori eni laure eni. Bobo ire itasu. Ifa ogba Olorun. Atibatiaju. Ifa ogba Olorun. Oshe awo ela Ifa tigbo. Ashe. Ifa, as we end our morning prayers, I ask that you offer support, that we hear the messages of today, that they bring goodness to us, that they bring support to us and understanding, a better understanding of Ifa. I ask that you continue to guide and protect and bless us so that we may experience long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, and all the area of life that we look to accomplish. Ashe. Ashe. Good morning again. My name is Baba Anthony, and I am with Okanran Sode Temple here in Miami, Florida. So our discussion today, as many of you may see, the topic is Ifa, the shelter that protects against all, right? It's really about Olodumare, right? Olodumare is the shelter that protects against all dangers. Let us remember this. Ifa, especially to us Ifa practitioners, Ifa is the voice of Olodumare. Ifa is the voice of Olodumare. We know that because of the verse that comes from the Odu of Osa Alawo. Osa Alawo, when Orunmila was asking who knows all. And Orunmila states that Olodumare, Ifa knows all. It's the voice of Olodumare. All right. So we as Ifa followers believe that Ifa is the voice of Olodumare. Orunmila is our prophet or the delegate, the one who has come to decode the messages of Odu Ifa for us, right? And that's what the priesthood and the practice of Ifa is about. Now, I speak about dangers, right? That's the topic for today. As Ifa followers, we face many dangers. Most of which these days seem like many of them are man-made, right? We have man-made dangers. We have spiritual dangers. Spiritual dangers are the ones that are bringing us unexplained issues, right? Problems that we're having in our life that it doesn't seem to be any solution for, right? Those are spiritual dangers. Then we have our natural dangers, the hurricanes or tornadoes, volcanoes, tsunamis, right? As Ifa devotees, we have to work so that we can live our life staying away from those dangers, right? Ifa provides us with information. Ifa may warn us in a reading, this may not be a good time to travel, right? Ifa may warn us that this may not be the time for you to be eating these particular foods. Ifa may say to us that this may not be the time to be wearing those particular colors, right? Ifa gives us taboos. We have taboos for life, and then we have taboos for a time period that come from divinations. We also get information from Ifa about changes that we could make in our lives to realign our Ori. Right? How do we better ourselves? What do we need to do with our character in order to improve our lives? Right? All that information comes in a process where we need to work to realign our Ori. The conversation that we get through standard divination, right, or the knowledge of our life Odu is how we know to live our lives better. And with that information, we, as Ifa practitioners, as devotees of Ifa, we need to understand that all of that information helps to bring us under the protection of Olodumare and the Orisha. So if we plan to step away from that, we kind of tend to put ourselves in a little bit of a challenge from time to time. So today, let us discuss how Ifa is the shelter that protects against all. Some of the things I want us to think about, during this talk are one, will I have to live my life worried about enemies overcoming me? Right. Sometimes you hear about enemies in readings, but do I really have to be concerned with that? Two, I want us to think about Orunmila and his purpose in all of this. Right. Three, where do I start as an Ifa practitioner? Right. And four, what happens if I feel alone, that I don't feel supported? So those are some things I want us to think about. Let's start with the first Odu, which is from Oyeku Meiji. First Odu, Oyeku Meiji. Orunmila declares that it is time to pay homage. I respond that it is time to pay homage. It is homage paid to Orisha, which gives them authority. Orunmila says that he looked at a long vista of the world. He inquired about those making trouble with his children, the Akapo. They responded that 200 rats are the ones troubling your children, the Akapo. They asked if the 200 rats could live long or if they could not live long. He responded that the 200 rats could not live long. All rats keeping malice with the deadfall, it is the deadfall that will see their demise. Orunmila declares that it is time to pay homage. I responded that it is time to pay homage. It is homage paid to Orisha, which gives them authority. Orunmila says that he looked at the long vista of the world. He inquired about those making trouble with his children, the Akapo. They responded that 200 fishes are the ones troubling your children, the Akapo. They asked if the 200 fishes could live long or if they could not live long. He responded that the 200 fishes could not live long. All fishes keeping malice with the fishnet, it is the fishnet that will see their demise. Orunmila declares that it is time to pay homage. I responded that it is time to pay homage. It is homage paid to Orisha, which gives them authority. Orunmila says that when he looked at the long vista of the world, he inquired about those making trouble with his children, the Akapo. They responded that 200 birds were the ones that are troubling your children, the Akapo. He responded that the 200 birds could not live long. All birds keeping malice with the bird lime, it is the bird lime that will see their demise. Orunmila declares that it is time to pay homage. I responded that it is time to pay homage. It is homage paid to the Orisha that gives them authority. Orunmila says that he looked at the long vista of the world. He inquired about those who were making trouble for his children, the Akapo. They responded that it was 200 beasts that were troubling your children, the Akapo. They asked if the beasts could live long or if they could not live long. He responded that the beasts could not live long. All beasts keeping malice with the cannon shall see their demise. These were Ifa's declarations to Orunmila when he was in constant fear of uprising against his person. He was advised to offer a bow. Here we have the story of Orunmila and his Akapo, his students, his followers, those who are under his protection. All right. Orunmila had discovered that many of his Akapo were facing challenges. They were being discriminated against by non-Ifa practitioners. Right. Some of these Akapo had challenges with man-made, right, dangers. They had challenges with man-made dangers. They had challenges with spiritual dangers. Right. Some of them found themselves in a way that they were being incapacitated, falling to illness. Some of them had been banished, from their homes. So they were facing quite a bit of issues during this time. Now that the enemies of the Akapos had found their success, right? They were pushing away Orunmila's children. They had found their success. They decided themselves that they were going to take their fight or their battle against Orunmila. Right. But they didn't know that Orunmila was always casting Ifa to make sure that his followers were doing well. Orunmila found himself worried, concerned, frankly, just simply uncomfortable by the situation that his Akapo were going through, that his children were going through, right? So again, as he always does, he goes for Ifa consultation. The Babalaos that had cast Ifa for Orunmila, they explained that, in the end, Ifa will be your supporter. He will be the supporter of you, and he will be supporter of your children. He was advised to make an offering to his own Ifa and to offer a bow. Of course, Orunmila did as he was supposed to in order to support his children. The Babalaos then said, anyone that is trying to bring harm to your Akapo, they would see their challenges in a dream, right? And within their dreams, they would see 200 ram headbutting them, right? And it would make them wake up with fear and sweats. So Orunmila did as he must, right? And as the Babalaos had said, the ebo and the offerings that were made, right, the feeding of Ifa that were done on behalf of the Akapo caused the enemies to have issues, right? And this all started within their dreams. And as it began as a spiritual problem, for all the harm that they were causing, it turned itself into a physical problem. So as they awoke out of these dreams or nightmares, if you will, right? As they woke themselves up, they found themselves in a position where they started to get ill. They started to manifest illness within inside of them, right? And then that caused them to forget, right? They started to see and experience this spiritual battle that was happening, causing them to then physically get ill, get sick, become incapacitated. And quickly they realized that they had to leave. As time moved on, the Akapo gained their freedom, right? The students of Ifa gained their freedom, and they celebrated. They celebrated the Orunmila, and they celebrated Ifa, right, together. Ashe. So here is a story of, Orunmila coming to support his Akapos, his students, right? We, as Ifa practitioners, are Akapos of Ifa. We are students of Ifa. We are the ones who are supported by Orunmila and the Orisha. Now, if we listen to the verse and how it starts, right, Orunmila says, it is time to pay homage. I responded that it is time to pay homage. Right? That is where it starts for us as Ifa practitioners. We get up as part of our devotion, as part of our, development. We give homage to Ifa daily. We give homage to the Orisha daily. That is part of our process. That's where it begins. That's what identifies us as practitioners of Ifa. Right? We're giving our homage. Next, we have to think about what it takes to be an Ifa practitioner. Right? We need to maintain good character. Hope you're all thinking about that. 2, from time to time, we need to offer a bow in order to support realigning our Ori. These are the different things that need to happen within our lives as Ifa practitioners. So if we start to push things to the side, we say, no, today I'm not feeling good. I don't know that I want to greet Ifa. Or we find ourselves in a place where, things are going a little bit challenging, but I don't think I want to offer a bow right now. Right? These are things that we need to do as Ifa practitioners. I was always taught as an Ifa devotee, right, that we don't necessarily need to focus on our enemies, right? That's not part of our practice. Now, I want to say this. If you are in a position where you are under physical harm, right, you shouldn't turn your back so that you are struck from the back. You shouldn't be in that position where you are ignoring those who are physically causing you harm. I want to make that clear. Right? If someone's coming to strike you, you must protect yourself, or you must move out of the situation as best you can. Right? So you need to make those decisions. But if we're under spiritual attack, right? If we're under spiritual attack, we're dealing with and understanding that, we're having these visions or dreams, or it's coming through a reading, whatever it may be. If we're under spiritual attack, that should not be ignored. It should not be ignored. Right? How do we handle it? Again, we listen to the verse above that I had mentioned before, We listen to the verse before, which says, Orunmila says, it is time to pay homage. I respond that I will pay homage. That's where it starts for us. We're simply working and praying with the Orisha. Last week, I spoke on the importance of prayer. Right? That is the beginning of us removing so many of our spiritual challenges. If we're at the point where, we feel like it's becoming too much, right? We go to Ifa, we have Ifa cast, we offer a ebo. We follow the advices that are given to us. We try to live our life better. But we're not in the point where Ifa, as you hear in this verse, Ifa doesn't find himself, or Orunmila doesn't find himself in a position where he's like, you know what, I need to attack them. I need to get all these different spiritual things, and I need to attack them. No. We put our faith in Ifa. It's the voice of Olodumare that will offer us support when it is time. All right, so we need to remember that. Standard practices for us as temple members. One, we are participating in our own personal Oshe Ifa. That's our devotion day. Again, that's when we're paying our homage. As a bigger group, we are offering our support through Itadogun, right? That's when we're praying together and giving offering together, supporting our Ifa temple group together, right? And then we have our own personal divinations with our elders that bring us support. So those are the things we need to be working on in order to seek the support from Ifa. Don't just believe that everything will be okay. I'm an Ifa practitioner, I need to do nothing. That is not what we do. We're a very active tradition. Right? We're always looking out to improve our lives for the best. So please let us keep that in mind. Let's move over to the next Odu. This comes from this verse comes from the Odu of Iwori Meiji. Iwori Meiji. The fire is it which lights the farm completely. The sun shines and illuminates the heavens. The spinner does not spin, and the roller does not roll only one strand of cotton string. These were Ifa's declarations to Orunmila when he wished to improve the lot of those whose home were in shambles. He was advised to offer a bow. So there was a particular time where Orunmila was visiting a town, and as he was visiting this place, there were a lot of people that were around that were facing many, many troubles. It's almost as if their life was in complete disarray, right? Ifa says that what they were doing, they had no head. They had no way to go. They had no direction, nothing was working out. And they were all living their lives in complete frustration with themselves, with those around them. They did not know what to do. So what did they do? They had the greatest diviner in their presence. And so they gathered themselves and they go to visit Orunmila to find out a solution to their problems. Orunmila says, Ashe. Orunmila then turns to a group of Awo because as he's going in to face a challenge to support people, he has Ifa cast for himself, right? And the Orunmila's questions to the Babalaos were, one, would he be able to improve the lives of these people? Right? They had come with so many problems. Is he the one that's going to help them? The Awo says, yes, Baba, you are the one. The Warrior Meiji was the Odu that was cast, and Orunmila was assured that he would have the support, right, to solve all of the problems for them. He was advised that the problems that they were having, all of the issues that they were facing, if they were placed under the protection of Ifa, right? If they were placed under the protection of Ifa, their problems would start to move away, right? The Awo said to them, if these people can be Ifa practitioners, Ifa devotees, if they are properly initiated into Ifa, all of their problems would be solved. Orunmila says, Ashe. So Orunmila returns back to the town where he was, and he offered them the solution. He says, I come to bring to you the practice and knowledge of knowing about your life and understanding who you are and becoming an Ifa devotee so that Ifa can support you in all of your matters. Orunmila began to initiate them all one after the other, and their lives began to change for the better. Each person knew their taboos. Each person understood the character changes that they need to make. Each person understood the direction they needed to move in their lives, right? As he began to initiate these people, right, and their problems started to move away from them, they found themselves so filled with happiness, joy, success, all the good things, and they prayed and thanked Ifa for all that was done for them, right? And so this verse ends, the fire is it which lights the farm completely. The sun shines and illuminates the heavens. The spinner does not spin, and the roller does not roll only one strand of cotton string. These were the declarations of Ifa to Orunmila when he wished to improve the lot of those whose home were in shambles. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. The Ori, which an Awo washes through initiation, such Ori shall succeed and enjoy longevity. The Ori, which the Awo washes through initiation. All right. So here, we hear the story of Orunmila, who I've always often referred to as the prophet for Ifa, right? He is the delegate set to be our guiding force within Ifa. So Orunmila is in this position where he is the delegate for a group or town of people, and he has come to improve their lives, to offer them support from Olodumare. Let us all remember, as Ifa devotees, Orunmila's position is that he came to make our lives better through the support of Ifa. Right? Here's where Orunmila has the people go through Itefa so that they can know their life Odu. With that, they're able to make the appropriate adjustments for them to find success. Now, I know a lot of us believe that simply having initiation alone will fix everything. And that's not always the case. Initiation is the beginning of the process, right? If you listen to the story that I shared, you'll hear that as these people initiated, they started to understand the things that they needed to change and fix. They needed to know their life Odu in order to um, know what taboos, what things to avoid, right? They needed to know what direction they should move themselves in, right? Be it where they're going to work, what type of crops maybe they should grow, what type of colors they should wear, the type of people they should surround themselves with. There's a lot of information that comes with a life Odu. And so as they heard this information from Orunmila, as they heard the changes that they need to make and applied those changes, their lives began to improve. Right? So we start to see the purpose of Orunmila. We start to understand the reason why Olodumare uses Ifa to support us. Right? These are things that we need to continuously be thinking about. We can't forget it, especially those of us who are initiated into Ifa, because it is through that information that we received. We're going to always need to be referring back to it, referring back to it. Even myself, 15 years later, I'm always referring back to it. Okay, what did I forget? What have I not been keeping track with? Because it happens to me personally too. It's hard to stay on the path. So let us be focused and always refer back to when we started, and then refer to our yearly Odu that we cast for our festival, and then refer to our Itadogun, and then refer to our personal divination. There's so many times that through our lives we're being guided through Ifa, and that is what we always need to be doing, right? Because Ifa and the Orisha cannot support us if we do not follow the advices, if we do not, align ourselves with Ifa and the messages. Ashe. Let's go to the Odu of Owanrin Meiji. The strong rat and the strong fish, they were the Awo who cast Ifa for Opwe Eluju, who shall be filled with wealth. He was advised to offer Ebo. So, Opwe Eluju, this means the palm tree of the wilderness. As this particular palm tree was coming from heaven to earth, he had planned to reside within the wilderness, start growing within the wilderness in the wild. He went to the Awo to have Ifa cast to find out his success in this life. Would I be important? Am I going to grow and flourish? Would he have the respect of the people and the plants, the animals, all around him? Would he bring influence? Would he benefit the people? And will he live a comfortable and contented life? The Awo assured Opwe Eluju that all would be good. He was told that he would be so wealthy that when the tree was used, that every single aspect of the tree would become important. Right? He was told that every part of him would be a benefit to mankind. So he was advised to offer a bow and feed Ifa, and he complied. Soon after, Opwe Eluju came and sprouted itself in this world. The palm fronds were cut to make brooms. Money was realized. The palm kernels were used to make palm oil. Money was realized. The palm nuts were broken and the shell were used as fuel. Money was realized. The nuts were grounded and palm kernel oil was extracted. Money was realized. Others chose to extract palm wine from the palm tree instead of the palm kernel. Money was realized. The trunk was used to make rafters and small bridges. Money was made. The palm nut was used to make lagdigba beads, which women used to adorn their waists. Money was realized. The newly sprouted palm fronds were used to decorate several shrines. The ikin was also extracted from the palm trees, which Babalawo used for Ifa consultation. Money was realized. The ikin was used to guide, protect, advise, direct, and mold the character of human beings. There was no part of the palm tree that did not benefit the human race. The palm tree became the most useful tree on earth. So the verse ends like this: the strong rat and the strong fish. They were the awo who cast Ifa for Okwe Eluju, who shall be filled with wealth. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. It is Opwe who owns palm oil and owns palm kernel oil and owns palm wine. Opwe was it which gave beads to adorn my waist, and palm oil which I used to eat yam. And had what Opwe had done for me, I cannot forget. Excuse me. Great things Ifa has done for me. Okay, so this particular verse discusses the importance of the palm tree. Now, something that non-Ifa practitioners may not know or understand is that at some point, Ifa was cast for virtually everything that came into existence. And so we hear Ifa being cast for not only man and the woman and the child, right? We hear about Ifa cast for the trees, Ifa cast for the rats and the fish, Ifa cast for everything. And so this is the story of Ifa being cast for the palm tree of the wilderness. And as Ifa practitioners, we recognize one very, very important use of the palm tree, not only because of palm oil and all of the brooms and the covering of shrines, but we recognize the palm tree for its offerings of the ikin. It is our ikin Ifa that we use. It is our tool that Orunmila has left for us to access Ifa, to access the knowledge of Ifa, right? It is our ikin that is used, as it says in the story, it is our ikin that is used to guide. It is our ikin that it is used to protect, to advise, to direct, and to mold our character. Right? That is the importance of the palm tree. This is the tool for us as Ifa practitioners, right? And so this story identifies that as the palm tree offered its ebo, it came under the protection of Ifa. This is the explanation. And its blessings, right, became our blessings. Again, this is all about this sermon and talk is all about Olodumare, right, who is the shelter that protects us from all dangers. And how is this protection come into our lives? Here through the palm tree. That's why I thought it was important we should know. And those who are not Ifa practitioners, maybe now you have an understanding of why we have our Ikin Ifa, because this is how we access that knowledge. This is the tool that was left for us from Orunmila. So that's something that we need to keep in mind. Now, I know many of us go through so many ups and downs in life. Sometimes we're with our community, with our friends, with our family. Sometimes we are not. Sometimes it feels as if we're alone. And it always seems to magnify itself when we're going through challenges. It does. That's the truth. When we're going through challenges, it seems as if you turn the corner, you turn one way, you're like, I could use someone to talk to. You turn the other way, I could use a little bit of help. Something that we need to remember is that even though in our physical life, right, when we're going through our day-to-day motions, at times when we feel like we're alone, we're never truly alone. Let me share a verse from Ejiobe, a verse from Ejiobe. When a person sleeps all alone with nobody around, only Olorun Oba can wake such a person up. This was the declaration of Ifa to the traveler when going to the wilderness. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. On getting to the wilderness, I glanced forward. He saw nobody. He looked back. He saw nobody. He declared that his burden had become that of Olorun Oba. Olodumare, please help me lift my burden to a successful end. Ashe. This is one of many verses in Ifa where Olodumare lets us know that he will be there as our supporter. And I say he, Olodumare doesn't identify as a man or as a woman. It's better said it. Olodumare will never fail to support one. That is what we need to understand. Olodumare has sent the Orisha to be our supporters and our guidance. Olodumare has sent Orunmila to decode Odu Ifa to give us that guidance. So at the times when we find ourselves alone, Ifa wants us to know that we're never alone, right? If other people do not support us, Olodumare will always be a supporter. One of my elders used to say, always, and it was always beautifully said. Every time I heard it, I thought, man, this is amazing. He used to say, Olodumare's timing is perfect. We should have hope that when we go through challenges, we will see our way out. As Ifa practitioners, we will see our way out, right? Maintain that hope. So let me bring this all together, right? Let's bring this talk together. Olodumare is the shelter that protects us from all dangers. Let's start there. One, as Ifa followers, let us not spend time focused on our enemies. Right? When we maintain good character, when we offer a bow, when we give praise to the Orisha, we will have the support of Ifa. Two, Orunmila is the delegate who has come to improve our lives, right? And to provide us support from Olodumare. That's the purpose of Orunmila. Three, the tools which we access this information from, the tools which we use to offer our prayers, right? That is our Ikini Fa. So if you have your Ishefa, your hand of Ifa, if you have Itefa, you are under the support of Ifa. You have a way to access, to pray, to find your support, right? And finally, when we are alone, Olodumare will never fail to support one. That is something that we need to think about and always remember. To be an Ifa devotee, to be a practitioner of Ifa, it's about living your best happiest, peaceful, successful life you can. Being a devotee of Ifa means that we know that our Creator will support us. We know that if we live the life that we're supposed to live, that we will find success. These are the things that make being an Ifa practitioner wonderful. Sharing my opinion, I'm biased, right? So again, let us not ever forget Olodumare is the shelter that protects us all from dangers. Ashe. So thank you. Thank you for listening in today. Let me go ahead and see who's here. Okay, let me see. Aboshisha Boato. Baba up in the Carolinas. How's it been? Greetings. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those who have been watching and supporting Olorun Oba Temple here in Miami. I wish you the best to a wonderful week. Next week is the beginning of the month, November. And as I started this Ifa season off saying, this year, the first Sunday of the month will be a month when I am not online. So all of the rest of the Sundays of the month, we will be back on. So next week, as we start the new month, I will not have temple service, but we will follow back up with temple service. That being said, those of you that would like to join us for live temple services, we're looking for a space to start having our live temple services here in Miami. I've got a lead on a place, so I will try to return back to our next temple service, having visitors and temple members join us live. So that is our goal. So let's see if we can make it happen before the end of the year. I wish you all a wonderful and successful week again. Buru aboye aboshishev boato.